Dice Tower Tonight, episode 17.
Mayflowers.
Welcome to Dice Tower Tonight, a video cast about board games and card games, and especially the people who play them. On tonight's show, the gang is back together once again, so Tom will challenge us with a couple of trivia games, we'll play show and tell with a few recent games, we'll determine Tom's next review, and our own fates as well, and then take your questions live. I'm Eric Summerer, and joining me now, the snap and crackle to my pop, Tom and Crystal.
Oh, that's good. I like it.
But see, now that you have three people, you're able to do some different things than you've done before.
Sure. I'm ready to do all sorts of stuff. Of course, being snap, crackle, and pop means we have to do the song. The snap,
Crackle.
what a happy song. You know, the multiple rounds and everything. You can do the whole thing.
I was more a fan of the three bakers on the Cinnamon Toast Crunch box when I was a kid, but they don't exist anymore. So
I haven't
Well,
looked.
this is really weird because one of our questions tonight that I cut was going to be name a cereal mascot.
yeah, no, I had a coin bank that had the Cinnamon Toast Crunch bakers. There was 3 of them.
Well, folks, I'm back.
Hi.
And
We missed you.
yeah, that's not true at all. Hang on, I can't open my contest thing here. It is not opening. But here's the deal, folks. We're here now to talk about mainstream nerd culture, okay? Enough of this esoteric stuff.
Are you saying that Weird Al Yankovic is not mainstream nerd culture?
I don't know. Well, he is currently, and that's only because of the Hamilton thing.
No.
I mean, the Hamilton polka is so good, but
yes. I agree.
He could do anything and you guys would say it was good.
It's because it is, though. Like, he's so talented.
Dispute that.
He is pretty talented.
Guys, I can't find the thing that I worked on all day today.
Well, that's
okay,
fun.
well, anyway, let's talk about mainstream culture. Avengers Infinity War, greatest movie ever in the history of humanity.
I'm seeing it this weekend. Don't spoil it.
Me too. I haven't seen it yet.
I didn't spoil it. I just said it was a great
thing.
movie. Superman dies.
I did see a few people making comments that are just on the border of spoilers. We're into that gray area where most people are still being pretty respectful. Like the first week, I think 2 weeks is generally the statute of limitations on spoilers. And people are being pretty good. I've seen a couple that are like, oh man, I wish my prediction hadn't been correct. And then like, well, if you go back and look at their last several posts, then maybe you know exactly what they're talking about. But we're starting to head into that zone that, oh, well, if you haven't seen it by now, well, it's your own fault. Okay. But so far, so good.
I know. I've avoided them so far as well. So it's been tough, but...
Well, I think it's bad for people to spoil movies. At the same time, go see it opening weekend.
I was busy.
Yeah, some of us have lives and other things that we have to do.
Did everyone hear Crystal accuse me of having no life? All right. Can't say that like right after a Weird Al Yankovic defense.
No.
Thing.
Yankovic? I'm sorry, what?
I know he did that on purpose, too.
What?
Probably did.
Okay.
He did.
Hey, want to see something cool? It just came in the mail.
Okay.
Yeah. Ooh, I've heard about this one.
Yeah, this is a, I played this at the Gathering of Friends. This is by the same guy who did The Mind, actually. So it's a roll and write game, so Eric automatically likes it.
Okay.
Aren't you a roll and write fan?
And sometimes. It's not something I'm bowling over.
Well, this one's really good. Basically, you roll dice, and you're going to choose a die, and then every die that's lower than the die number you picked is discarded. You can't use that one again. Then you roll the rest of the dice, and you keep doing that. And you pick a couple dice, and you're going to be crossing off different spots. And everyone else is going to use the dice that you didn't pick.
Okay.
And you just cross off various things that give you points in various ways. It's a point salad roll and write. I like it a lot. But I had to go to Amazon.de to get it.
I know Schon is pretty in German. Is it you're pretty clever? Is that what it translates
well, thank you. But I don't know.
I think Schon is either beautiful or pretty or something in German, but yeah.
What excites me though, Eric, is that I was able to get this so easily because I didn't know Amazon Prime worked on the German site.
Wait, it
Oh,
does?
so if you have Amazon Prime in the US, it also works on DE?
It does. I mean, you still pay shipping, and it's not like it's going to be suddenly cheaper, but it's fast, easy, and one-click ordering actually works.
Oh,
That's
wow.
probably not a good thing.
Huh.
All right, so let's talk about some board games, and I am deficient here, so I need to talk about these games real quick, and then I can send them off to you all.
Yes,
Okay.
please.
Yeah. So,
Oh, no.
and then I'll let you guys talk about your games. So let's start
Okay.
off with the one that's the slowest here. This is Grump.
Grump.
This one won like a month ago.
Yeah, at least.
Yeah, okay. Well, Grump, if you can look at the back, has a bunch of these here spots on it. And what you're going to do is you're going to be putting tokens that you're pulling from a bag on these different spots. You want to get these tokens because they're how you score at the end of the game. The number of different tokens you have make sets, and this 1 is 1, 2 is 3. The same old boring scoring everyone uses. And you say go, and you start placing your grumps with different numbers on all these different spots. Some of your grumps you can put on top of someone else's and kick them out of a spot. And eventually, when you think you're done, you say you're done. And when enough people are finished, you then count up all the spots in each one. And you have to meet a requirement in total. Like the total number of all your grumps has to be over 20. Or it has to be between 10 and 20. Or they all have to be different numbers, whatever it is. If you meet that requirement, then whoever has the highest number gets an animal token. Then the second highest number gets one. And there's a few other things. And you can flip all these tiles over so the requirements are different. So it's a speed game of collecting sets. It's, okay. That's a fast review.
Okay.
Okay.
My full review is going up tomorrow, I believe, so you can see that. So you guys were Somnicum and Cavern Tavern, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you both wanted this one.
Yeah.
But Eric lost and got this one.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
that's the better one.
You don't be spoiling, or I'll tell you what happens in Infinity War.
I mean, is it a spoiler if I don't actually know?
All right, so Cavern Tavern has a board that looks like this here. So you can see in this, that's not zooming in very well. But anyway, this is a dice placement game. On your turn, you're rolling dice, and you're going to be placing them on the board in various places. You're doing this to get ingredients to serve drinks to customers. A customer will be there. You'll take their card. They want a certain number of ingredients. They want a drink that requires a certain number of ingredients. You get those ingredients, and you serve it to them. It's going to take you several turns to get those ingredients. And so the longer that they have to wait, the fewer points you'll get when you serve the drink.
Okay.
That's the game, really. It's a dice placement game, and I like dice placement games, but it has a few problems with it. Parts of it don't look a little amateurish. The production, I think, that's a minor thing. But more importantly is a lot of times I roll dice and I'm like, oh, I'm not getting the stuff I want this turn. Not because people are blocking me, just because I didn't roll the right numbers. There's not a lot of ways to manipulate the dice. Very few ways to manipulate the dice, actually. And you kind of just keep doing the same thing over and over again. Get some ingredients, turn them in for drinks, get some ingredients. Sometimes you're like, oh, look, there's a customer who wants a drink that happens to have the ingredients I have. Ha, 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 my strategy worked. So it's okay. It's not fantastic. It's okay. Maybe Chris will have a different opinion. We'll send it to her and find out. Somnicum. This has some really weird artwork. Okay, you see these cards here. Those are dream cards.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to have these in a big circle in front of you. And on your turn, you have this pawn, and you can move it. There's 2 pawns moving around this circle, and you can move them 1, 2, or 3, and then take a card and add it to your dream. You can move them farther, but you have to pay tokens to move them farther. So it's kind of like a rondelle. But if you move them fewer spaces, you get more tokens. So then you put these tokens in your dream, and they have to be in sequence. So this dream card here, for example, shows a whale and a boat on it. So for another card to be in a dream with this, it has to have something that matches with it. This is the same kind of background, but they don't have anything in common. So I wouldn't be able to put those next to each other. Oh wow, I managed to draw 3 cards that had nothing in common. All right, but this one would work because it has a whale. See that? So I'd be able to put these next to each other. Once you have 2 cards next to each other, you can have a deeper level of your dream and go down farther. And you can have up to a 3rd level of your dream. At the end of the game, you're going to get points for these stars times the level they are in your dream. There's also nightmare cards, which are negative points, but they have like a lot of symbols on them. So they help put your dream together. And then you have these tokens, and these tokens that you can use to move your thing farther. You can also add these tokens to cards to add more symbols on them. And some cards give you special ability card type things. You draw these and they let you do some weird things and such. Or if you don't use them at all, they're worth a point at the end of the game. Not bad. I'm not totally sold on the artwork. It's a little bit more color, I think, would have helped a bit. And it's a little weirdy. I mean, it is about dreams and such, but I liked it. I liked it better than Cavern Tavern. But maybe you guys will disagree. We'll find out in 2 weeks.
Maybe.
Does that make you feel better, Eric?
A little bit, yeah. I mean, the art looks a little clip art. It doesn't look quite as fantastical as, say, a Muse or a Dixit.
Actually, the art I would want in it would be the art from, what's that Eagle Griffin deck building game with the toothbrush?
Fantastica.
Yeah, Fantastica. That would be good artwork for this game, I think.
Okay.
Are you deflated, Crystal?
No, I like dice placement games, although I get frustrated by the same thing where you have dice placement with no mitigation at all. That does get frustrating for me also, but I do like dice placement games, so I'll still stay optimistic just in case.
I played an excellent dice placement game today for the first time. I played it twice, and I'm probably going to play it 18 more times, I think.
Wow.
This game is called holy cow, my mind just went blank.
Really made an impression, didn't it?
No. Why did my mind go blank?
Mm-hmm. This is excellent viewing.
Yeah,
Rise of Queensdale. Sorry.
Rise of Queensdale.
This is the new legacy game from Ravensburger by Inca and Marcus Brand.
Oh, I love them. I'm so excited for that.
I think you're going to like this game. But basically, I think if you like Charterstone, you'll like this game. Although so far, and we've only played it twice, so far we as a group like it better than Charterstone.
Okay.
Because we all like dice placement. So there's that. But what's cool about this game, and it's not a spoiler, this is, you get these dice, and you roll the dice, and the symbols that you roll, you can place them in different areas on the board. And after each game, you can add different stickers to the sides of your dice.
Oh, I'm in love already. That sounds wonderful.
And I'll tell you this, another thing I like about the game is I say, this is my turn, and then I pause to look at my neighbor, and it's my turn again. Yeah, that is good.
The brands,
good to take turns.
They're just knocking it out of the park right and left. Everything they put out, I want to play.
They are. They're quickly becoming one of my favorite designers, and I even despite Village. But yes. All right, your turn. Crystal, what do you got?
So a game got announced right before Gen Con this past summer that I immediately wanted to play and then didn't for the longest time, and that is Legacy of Dragonholt. I have been a big fan of the world of Terranoth for my entire time as a modern board gamer. I played Runebound for the first time back in 2007 and have always loved Terranoth. And when I heard that an adventure storytelling game set in that world was coming out, I got very excited and then somehow didn't buy it right away, which I don't know. But now I've been playing it solo, which I don't typically do. I'm not really much of a solo gamer, but I decided to tackle this one solo. I've been controlling 2 characters, though, so I have activation tokens for each of them. For those who aren't familiar, in Legacy of Dragonholt, you create a character or characters similar to how you would create characters for an RPG. And then you go on an adventure with them. And the adventure is contained within a number of different books. The main one is pretty thick. And I'm not going to show anything too up close, but there's a lot of different numbers and story points in the book. And you, like a choose your own adventure book that a lot of people did when they were kids, you go to one story point and then you make a decision. And some of those decisions are affected. Are you okay, Tom?
What's all that black on the book I'm seeing? It looks like it's a redacted top secret document.
The back, you mean?
Oh, those are charts. Never mind. Okay. Sorry.
I don't want to show too much of the markings and stuff. I guess the back of the book isn't a spoiler, but this is my progress. I'm almost done with it. So yes, you can choose one of the options at the bottom of each paragraph of text, and some of those options are limited based on what skills you selected for your characters, and you progress through the story, and sometimes it goes in directions that you didn't expect, and sometimes it goes in the best directions ever, and oh my goodness, I love it so much. Nikki Valens was the primary designer on this, and I've actually tweeted at her a couple of times over the past week because I've just fallen in love with this so much. And I'm not even finished with my first playthrough, and I already want to play it again because there's so much stuff that I haven't gotten to experience. And they do a really good job of making it so, like, I think in those choose your own adventure books, everybody did the thing where they like had 4 fingers in the book, so when you screwed up, you could go back. In this, it doesn't feel like you need to. Like, even when I've failed miserably at specific things within the game, the story still progresses in a way that feels satisfying. So I don't feel like I ever want to cheat it and try and go back. I'm just like, nope, that's the way it happened. And maybe on a subsequent playthrough, because I am going to play this again, maybe I'll make different decisions. But I love Legacy of Dragonholt so much. This keeps being likened to an RPG, but honestly, I think it's more like a choose your own adventure novel, but gamified in a more substantial way, and I love it. It's awesome.
This has fallen for me just a little bit because this was when Tom talked about it. This went very high on my list. I wanted to try it with the kids, and then I ran into a thread on Twitter that was a little disconcerting. They didn't spoil anything, but they seemed to imply that getting a good or bad ending when it was all over was based upon some arbitrary decisions made a good distance back. And that it wasn't necessarily telegraphed that this is important, you need to do this right. It just happened to be that this decision out of a whole bunch ended up being the thing that determined whether you got a good or bad ending.
And I haven't gotten to the end yet, so I don't know what said good and bad endings would be, but I saw those same comments, and I've also seen other comments that I think help mitigate that. Other people have said that you shouldn't go into this as a game that you want to win. You should go into this as an experience that you want to have. And if you're going to play Legacy of Dragonholt to try and only win it, and that is your primary goal, you will potentially come away disappointed. And again, I'm not saying that personally because I haven't gotten to the end yet. I don't know if said arbitrary decisions were made correctly by me yet or not, but I think I've done horribly, honestly, throughout the campaign. There have been some very big moments that I did not succeed at within the course of the story. And I expect potentially a bad ending, but it's been really fun along the way. So I think if people go into it with the right mindset.
Let me ask you this. I'm trying to ask this in a way without spoilers.
Okay.
On one mission, and I know you got to it because you had to have gotten to it probably.
Okay.
You are to go and rescue somebody.
Yes, I do know what you're talking about.
How did that go for you?
Not well.
Okay, I think that's the decision people are talking about. I think the whatever the minor decisions you make on the journey that you make there cause that to go good or to go bad. It went well for us, but it can go good or bad, and I think that affects the ending of the story. Actually, I think that's what it is. I think that's a linchpin. Because the very first book, the very first adventure that we went on, when we were done, I was like, all right, I'm going to go back and, do the 10 fingers into the book thing. And everything you does goes to the same ending. I was really annoyed.
Oh.
Then I went and looked at that book, the that adventure, and I was like, let's see if the same thing happens. I was like, woo, we dodged a bullet here. But being that said, Eric, the thing we're talking about here, I would not play this with kids because of this of that whole situation. I really would. Not with young kids. Not with young kids at all.
Yeah, it's not lewd, but there's definitely violence and some other adult content in this game for sure.
Okay. Yeah, it's not that it's gory or it's not like I think you could it would even be considered PG, but it's like there's death in the book. How's that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I am actually getting less interested in going through these. Now, Chris, are you playing this by yourself?
Yes, I'm playing it by myself.
I think that's the only way I would play these in the future because it's written really well and they describe all the scenery and all this stuff. when you read that stuff out loud, it is long. And I doubt even the dulcet tones of Eric Summer would make me care about what color the roses are on the windows of the tavern we're going to.
Challenge accepted.
Yeah, there's definitely, I think, something to be said for experiencing this solo, because especially if you're somebody who likes to read, it's been very enjoyable for me to go through this on my own. Whereas if we had to read it out loud, A, it would be way slower, and B, it would be different, because right now I'm getting to make all the decisions. Like, I'm still doing it through the eyes of my two characters who I've created with very different personalities and different skill sets. So I'm making decisions based on what I think they would do, but I still get to make all the decisions, and I'm really liking that.
Yeah, I think the death knell of this game for me was playing the new Choose Your Own Adventure game from Z-Man Games.
Oh, really? I see. And I watched your all's review of that, and I saw that you liked it. Do you like that better than this?
I do, but realize it's a much smaller story, right?
Okay.
Dragonholt is a much bigger one. If I was playing them solo, I'd probably play Dragonholt because I want that big adventure. But for a group play, the Choose Your Own Adventure was so zany too. Just crazy stuff that we kept laughing about the stuff that was happening. It was just a great experience. What do you got, Eric?
Well, Dragonholt is a relatively new game. I went the other direction. On the Dice Tower cruise, a gentleman named Al came up and handed me this. It's called Hammer. It is a card game from I don't know when.
Can you turn that upside down?
No, that's actually the logo.
No, flip it upside down. Can you read it the other way?
It looks like you would be able to, but you can't.
Yeah, almost though.
Yeah, it looks like it would be something, but Rewa. No, it's Hammer.
You've summoned a demon.
I may have. So this is such an old school card game that the rules refer to the players in like bridge terms. So it's using like east and west and north and south to determine like what you're talking about. It's also both in French and in English because it's about curling. This is a card game about curling.
Hooray!
So you've got, I'll actually just use the diagram here. You build basically a curling house. You've got a card that is the button, and you sort of just draw a card. Then both players or teams have a hand of cards. So you got the button, and you put one of these cards on the button. So let's say the button is number 16. And then you draft, or reverse draft, play in turn order, 3 cards each. So they all extend from the button. So now you've got a bunch of different values all leading to the button. Then you will play your cards. You can either play single cards or you can play double or even triple cards, adding up to the values that are the house that you have created. So I could play a 10 and a 6 and get right on the button with a 16. But if the opponent then plays the exact same value, it takes out your stone. Or you can actually build up more rocks in particular spots. You can promote. You can you discard one of the cards from your hand, draw a card, and if you can add it to one of the stones you have in the house to bring it up to another better stone, then you sort of promote that rock. And you could even do a takeout that way. I was ready to think this was ridiculous, and it sort of is. I mean, you got all these curling stone values, and
the dog agrees.
The dog agrees. But it actually has a little bit of tension to it, especially when you're going for those raises. I'm going to go for a raise, and you have this chance, because raises are difficult shots to do in curling. You might get a value that works. You might not get a value that works. So you're taking that risk as you try and play these. And the strategy in what order you play the values in your hand matters. If you play a double or triple card for a rock, you'd get to draw back -1. So if I play 3 cards for 1 stone, I'll get to draw 2 cards, and that can maybe cycle through my possibilities. There's a little bit of obvious strategy in saving if you have a card that's going to get right to the button, you sort of save that for one of your last shots so that the opponent doesn't have a chance to take it out. There's a mechanic that gives the team with the hammer a big advantage, which is how it's supposed to work. You play multiple ends and score multiple rounds. There's a bunch of special cards. You can play level 2 of this game, which has special cards that sort of, increase the randomness, basically. The big kill. There we go. I mean, the graphic design is laughable on these things. It wasn't
minimalistic.
It wasn't a bad game, but the problem is I have no idea what company this is. I mean, I know it says on it Trig Enterprises from Manitoba, but they're not on Board Game Geek. I can't find any mention
of them. What was that name again?
Trig.
I'm kidding.
I've considered entering this into the Board Game Geek database, but I'd have to enter in all of the elements. I'd have to enter Trig as a publisher. I'd have to enter the game, enter the designer, all that stuff. And I don't have all of that information that I think I would need to make this work. I would love to know more about it. So I said there's a level 1 and level 2 in the rules. There's a level 3 that involves extra rules about guards and all sorts of extra mechanics. You have to send away for those cards.
Oh no!
You have to send $1 to Manitoba, and you can then get the rules to level 3. I don't know if I could maybe try sending $1 to Manitoba, but I don't think it'll work. I doubt that place still exists.
I mean, you can Google the address.
This is free internet, isn't it?
Oh yeah. I could maybe try and track them down, but the only thing I found was an old patent application for a different card game that was not Hammer. It was some other game from Trig Enterprises. So hey, if there are any Manitobians that know about Trig Enterprises and Hammer, I'd love to know more, because it was actually pretty fun, and with maybe a playmat, it could be a good game to pull out with curling pin.
Brief. Some people say that I'm tuning out. I'm actually looking at comments and things around the different screens that I have set up here. So I'm not necessarily turning out, but yes, I was turning out slightly there. Well, what do you want me to say, Eric? That game looks awful.
But it wasn't awful. That's the point. That's my story.
But it made you feel like it was curling?
It kind of did. Yeah, I didn't think it would work.
Awful. This is really bad. I don't even hate curling. I've started down this path, and I have to hold firm. Sorry, Eric.
I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed.
Oh wow, that doesn't work on me. It's been 40 years since my parents started saying that stuff. All right, here we go. It's time for the game show. Oh. Are you ready?
No.
So we're going to keep track of who's won the most. So far it's Crystal 1, Eric 0. Eric also lost against the internet, but we won't count those.
No. I won last time, right? But that didn't count.
That's right, Eric. If you'd watched Board Game Breakfast, you would have seen that I said, if someone tells you your games are bad, ignore them. Who cares what they think?
Okay.
So use my own advice against me, is what I'm saying.
I don't care what you think.
That works too.
Now, that was saddening. All right. There we go. I'm going to write these down. All right. So today, it's going to be similar to what we did last time. We had top 10 lists, except this time it's going to be internet survey people. So it's not a definitive top 10 list. That's just not even a top 10 list. They're just things that people said. And you get points if you have people agreeing with you. Okay? And that's how many points you get.
Okay.
So I asked some questions, and people tuned in. And Eric, you know the show because you usually run the show with me.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever played this version.
That's true, but not only that, we're going to cut, for this purposes of this one, we're going to cut the don't get the number one answer wrong. And you'll give points to the other person. Why? Because in each of these categories, I don't believe the number one is that obvious.
Okay.
Okay, so we have a few questions here. And we will start with Eric, since you're the loser from last time. From last time, not
Yes.
the loser.
Not just defining me as such. No, that's good. That's fine. It's fine. Since
So I
you're the
asked about
loser, you go first.
450. So I asked about 450 people. What is the most annoying thing when traveling? So we'll go back and forth until I decide that it's over, and that's how many points you get. What's the most annoying thing when traveling? I gave all answers here, where 5 or more people said the same thing. I believe I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 things.
I will start with traffic.
Traffic. That is a good answer. That is 22 points. That was the 4th one. A lot of them had exclamation points. It was like, traffic.
They're very emphatic.
So what's the most annoying thing when traveling?
Delayed flights.
That is number 2. Sorry, Eric. She's ahead again. 29 people said delays. Delays. I'm gonna decide if a category is condensed or if what you say fits in another category.
All right, I will go with the Transportation Security Administration.
That's the number 1, or airport security in general. That's 32 people. Eric is back in the lead.
Lost luggage.
Lost luggage is number 3. 23. You guys got the top 4 answers. Boom, 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 boom.
It sounds like people are sticking with airline travel, at least for the top answers. I want to say frequent bathroom breaks.
Yes, 8 people said that, Eric. Frequent bathroom breaks.
I don't know how to categorize this. What is other people an answer? Like other travelers?
I'm going to say no to that one.
Okay.
Back to you, Eric.
Construction.
Oh, that's a good answer, but not on the list.
Canceled flights?
No, but I think that's probably people just included that on delays.
The delays?
If your flight's
Okay.
canceled, it's delayed, I would guess. All right, Eric.
Cost.
No, but I wonder why people didn't say that. That's weird. I don't know if that was even on the list. Well, not less than 5 votes if it was.
Airplane bathrooms. Is that different?
Ooh, that's good, but no. All right, we each get 2 more shots. Eric.
Terrible food.
Terrible food. No, that's one of my favorite things when traveling. The food's usually good. Well, at least where I go.
Baggage fees.
No. What kind of stuff are you traveling with?
What do you mean? Like most airlines charge you to either check or carry on bags.
Oh, you're right. You're right. They do. Okay, that's fair enough. Last chance, Eric.
Ooh, I know. I have one.
Oh no, no pressure. How about poor directions?
Ooh, that is a good one. No.
All right. How about crying babies or screaming children?
Children is on the list with 8 points.
Yeah, the ones that take frequent bathroom breaks.
All right. So right now, Eric, you have 62 points, and Crystal, you have 60.
Oh, dang.
It's a close game. Here's what you didn't get. No room for games and luggage, 15 people said.
Okay, that's funny.
These are gamers who are putting in these things. All right. Waiting was 12 votes. Finding a bathroom was 10. Packing, 9 people said. Finding Wi-Fi, said 5 very desperate people. And finding a charger or my phone is dying all the time.
I considered that finding an outlet. Yeah.
Well, I would have given it to you. All right. Here we go. Next one. This is very open-ended question. All right. The very open-ended question. But I said, what cartoon character is the most creepy? And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 answers. I got 4 or more votes. Realizing, of course, that cartoon character is extremely broad, and I probably should have condensed that, but it is what it is. Crystal, the board is yours. What cartoon character do people find the most creepy?
Jeez.
that an answer? I don't know a character
no.
named Cheese.
How about Daffy Duck?
Daffy Duck is not on the list. How's he creepy?
I don't know. I couldn't think of any cartoon character.
Daffy Duck is annoying, and he's actually, I always root for him to beat Bugs Bunny, but he's not creepy, I don't think.
All right.
The Jolly Green Giant.
No, that's actually not a cartoon character. That is a mascot of a.
He's a cartoon character.
What cartoon is he in?
The commercials for Jolly Green Giant vegetables.
Well, here, I'll help you out. There are no commercial characters in this.
Oh, okay. All right.
How about Marceline, the Vampire Queen?
Oh, that's a good one. But she was only creepy in the first episode, right?
Okay, Marceline's dad? Like, I don't know.
You said Marceline. No.
How about Foghorn Leghorn?
No. How's he creepy?
I don't know.
He's a blowhard.
Pepe Le Pew.
That's second place. 20 points for Crystal.
I mean,
a lot of people said
always hitting on that black cat and just, yeah.
Yeah, but and the thing is, he won't take no for an answer.
Yeah.
Mr. Magoo.
Mr. Magoo, thanks, old man. No.
Okay, so I'm going to go in a similar direction that's going to get me a no, but I'm going to say Bugs Bunny, only because, like, dresses up in lots of weird costumes and does lots of weird things, so.
Fair enough. I will check. No.
I am lost on this one.
Yeah, I don't have any, like, the fact that this many people said
most of these, there's a couple from movies, but most of these are from television cartoons.
Man.
I don't. Archer.
Oh,
that's a good. That's not a bad answer, but not on the list.
Hold on, let me go grab Sterling, my Maltese, and put him up to the camera. How about oh gosh, what were the names of the characters from Real Monsters on Nickelodeon? Like Oblina? I'm going to say Oblina. I think that's her name.
I have no idea what you're saying, so no.
90s Nickelodeon is all I've got to draw from, and Looney Tunes, apparently.
Well, I think you could have gotten some of these. Eric, I'll give you each two more. Eric.
I don't think that's going to help. How about the? Oh no. The neighbor from Family Guy.
Oh, that's good.
I will accept that.
Hey,
that's Quagmire. That's 11.
Sure.
Okay. Well, okay, hold on. So Family Guy's not bad though. So if we're going with creepy, then the old man from Family Guy.
That's actually
Herbert.
who I meant.
Herbert.
Oh, that's what you meant, Eric? Well, we'll give you a point anyway because we feel bad for you.
Yeah.
And Crystal, since he meant that and it didn't, I'm just gonna say you get to guess again because no, that guy didn't make it.
Okay, then we'll go. I'm gonna stick with Family Guy because it seems accurate. I don't know. Let's go with Brian.
No. Eric?
Well, then I'll go with Stewie.
No. Crystal, last chance.
Last chance. All right. Other popular cartoons. Is anybody in Bob's Burgers creepy? Let's say Gene from Bob's Burgers.
Gene is not creepy.
I know. I love Gene, but
the scores are now 80. Crystal has 80, and Eric, you have 73. All right. So here's what we didn't get. So 4 people said Beetlejuice from the old Beetlejuice cartoon.
Okay. I don't think of him as a cartoon character.
Yeah.
Fine, whatever. It's 4 votes. 4 for Jafar, 4 for Scooby-Doo, 5 for Squidward, 5 for Casper, 6 votes for Mr. Burns, 6 votes for Ursula. 6 from the Little Mermaid.
Yeah.
6 votes for The Simpsons in general. 6 votes for Gargamel. Eric, you should have got that. You're a Smurfer.
Yeah.
6 votes for Mickey Mouse. Go figure. 7 votes for Courage the Cowardly Dog. 8 votes for Family Guy himself.
Peter.
11 votes, for Peter. 11 votes for Skeletor.
Okay.
15 votes for Ren and Stimpy. Second place, Pepe Le Pew with 20 votes, and 23 votes for SpongeBob SquarePants. I don't know what to tell you. This is what people voted for. All right. Let's go to games. In case someone's tuning in, they're like, what are we talking about? But Gargamel was one you should have got, Eric.
Oh, sorry.
All right. Let's go to games. When introducing a new person to the hobby, do not use this game.
Who's going first? Is it
Let's see who's behind. Eric. Eric is behind, so he gets to go first.
Darn it.
Power Grid.
Power Grid. Oh, by the way, I put anything that had 5 or more votes on the list, and that was not on the list, Eric.
All right, I got to go for the heavy hitter of Gloomhaven.
Gloomhaven is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th on the list with 7 votes. Do not use this game.
Democker.
Democker. Eric says, not thinking about the fact that 400 people who probably have never played the game voted on this. No. You're not thinking, you got to think of what people would say. Not what you say, but what people would say.
I don't know people.
Yeah, that was obvious by our last episode, Eric. You and I, we don't know people. All right, I'm going to give a shout out to my girl, Ambi, and I'm going to say 18XX.
Yes, that's on the list with 6 votes. Come on, Eric. She's got 2. You've got 0.
I know. All I can think of is games that do work for this.
No, this is not opposite day.
It's Anomia all over.
I know. How about
Ticket to Ride, Settlers Catan.
Seventh Continent.
Seventh Continent. An excellent, erroneous choice.
How about Megasiv?
No. No, but that's funny. Yes, that would be an awful game to teach someone.
Yeah, here, sit here for 10 hours while we play a game.
Fog of War.
To clarify, you're saying Jeff Engelstein game, of which I'm pretty sure like less than 1,000 copies have ever sold.
Sure.
Actually, it's probably more than that. Sorry, Jeff, I'm not. But really, what? No.
Okay.
You guys are not thinking grandiose enough. Like, what would people say? Like, what's a game that would pop into people's mind? 400 gamers who are picking this. A game that you would not use for a thing. You guys are being very esoteric here.
No, I got it. I've got one.
Go ahead.
Twilight Imperium.
52 points for Crystal.
What was it?
Twilight Imperium.
Oh, all right.
Tom basically implied that we need to pick very popular things that people would say you shouldn't use. So, like, I'm going for the
I
big
didn't
one.
imply anything. I stated it straight out.
Monopoly.
Eric got the number 2 answer with 24 points, which is not quite as many as 52. But now you guys are in the spirit. Come on.
I know. I don't. Now that was my big guess though. What about like? What about Oh gosh, what was the legacy game that you all Seafall that everybody didn't like?
Seafall is not on the list. Sorry.
Okay. I figured people might think.
Eric liked it, I think.
I still haven't played it.
Oh.
Twilight Struggle.
Twilight Struggle is on the list with 5 points.
I'll take them.
You're too amused by that, Tom. Okay, so Agricola.
Agricola's on the list with 14 points.
Haha! This trick worked for me during the animal guessing thing too. Always go with Agricola.
How about Cards Against Humanity?
That's actually an excellent answer, Eric, and I feel bad for giving you 0 points. I need some fake tears I can put in my eyes.
Through the Ages.
Through the Ages is on the list. That's 8 points for Crystal.
I'm literally like in my head trying to picture the BGG like top 10 and like which ones are the heaviest.
So I'm going to go with what I should have done the last time Agricola came up, Caverna.
Oh, good choice. No.
I'm leaving. Goodbye.
All right, so Eric has exited this round. All right, we're gonna pause score and go to the final round here. So Eric, hang on, let me get these points up. Okay, Crystal's up to 167, and Eric's up to 103.
I broke 100. That's good, right?
Here's the ones
Eric,
you didn't
you're
get.
doing excellent.
Feast for Odin, 5 votes. Arkham Horror, 5 votes. Food Chain Magnet, 5 votes. Twilight Struggle, 5 votes. Cosmic Encounter, 5 votes. Lisboa, 6 votes. Scythe, 7 votes. Mage Knight, the board game, 7 votes. Terraforming Mars, 8 votes. Terra Mystica, 13 votes. And the number 3, the one you guys missed, Diplomacy, with 18 votes.
Oh.
Diplomacy, excellent choice.
Yeah.
All right, last one here. So, staying on theme here, Avengers: Infinity War, which has, I believe, 60 plus distinct characters in it.
Oh gosh, I hope you know comics, Eric, because you can take it here.
Several of these characters have had their own movies, like Iron Man and Thor. Justice League came out with Superman, Batman, who have had their own movies in the past. But what superhero, and this is a very wide open question, what superhero does not have a movie, but should, like a solo type movie, a movie named after this character?
Yeah, this is where you can take over, Eric, because I don't know superheroes at all.
What?
I'm not ashamed, because you should. You should know this. This should be part of our young children's education. I can't even say that with a straight face. All right.
So you're allowing those that have appeared in ensemble movies that don't yet have a solo movie.
I'm allowing any superhero in existence.
So basically, if people named a superhero that does have their own movie, it's still on the list, even if they didn't follow the constraints.
Well, you got to remember, I don't control what these people say.
Well, right. I'm just saying, like, I didn't know if you omitted, like, if somebody put down Iron Man, if that got omitted or not. I'm not saying.
You can guess Iron Man if you want, and I will allow you to guess it. Eric.
Sandman.
No.
Supergirl.
Oh, that's a good pick. And no one said that. I wonder why. She's on TV show. Maybe that's what it is. Eric.
The Flash.
The Flash is number 2 with 12 points.
Isn't there a lady version of the Hulk? She-Hulk?
Yes, it is She-Hulk. It's his cousin,
Jen
okay. Garner. I'm reading from this paper. But no, she's not on the list.
Hey, look, but I named some things. I'm going to...
I want to say Venom, but they just announced a Venom movie. But maybe it's on the list. So Venom.
No Venom. Venom's not a superhero. Venom is a conflicted anti-hero. Also, that trailer looks awful.
Are there female versions of all of them? Because I could just keep doing that. How about, is there a Spider-Girl?
There is.
Okay.
There is a Spider-Girl because in an alternate timeline, Peter Parker and Mary Jane had a daughter, and she grew up to be Spider-Girl. And no, not on the list.
Well, that's all right. I'm happy that these female superheroes exist, so.
Black Widow.
Black Widow is number 1, Eric, with 21 points.
Only 21?
If you get the top 6.
Oh, no. Okay, so I don't know people's names. That's the problem. Like in these ensemble movies, I'm trying to think of the ones that.
Describe it. I'll give it to you.
Oh, okay. Like now I got to think of a good one. What about? Nope. Doctor Strange had his movie, and there's nobody else big in that one except for his sidekick person. But I don't know if he's not a superhero. The Fantastic Four. I don't the surfing guy.
Silver Surfer.
Yeah, that one.
That's actually very good. I was reading several Silver Surfer comics last night. Actually, I read like 10 of them, but no, not on the list.
That's all right.
All right, you know what? Time's up. Okay, so here's what we have. Green Arrow with 4 points. Captain Planet with 4 votes.
Oh, that's
Our
a good
hero.
one. Gonna take
Greatest
Blue down to
American
0.
Hero with 4 votes.
What?
Wonder Twins with 4 votes. Hawkeye with 5 votes. Mighty Mouse with 5 votes. I did say this was wide open, guys.
Yeah.
Martian Manhunter with 5. Nightwing with 6. Aquaman with 7. The Tick with 8.
Yes.
Shame on you, Eric. You should have said The Tick.
I was
Moon
getting
Knight
there.
with 9. Gambit with 10. Squirrel Girl with 10. And then Flash and Black Widow. So let me do some calculations here. I don't think you got any points that round, Crystal. So you're still with 167. Let me add these extra points that Eric got and see if he catches up.
No, he didn't.
I did say that I was going to do poorly, so
136. All right, for the second time in a row, Crystal wins. So let's get started. I'm ready. I've had the shrink removed from these games. If you've never seen this before, folks, the way this works is I have 7 games. We're going to do 3 rounds. Each round, the audience will eliminate one, and one of these guys will eliminate one. In round 1, Crystal will eliminate one. In round 2, Eric will eliminate one. In round 3, they will eliminate neither, but Crystal will get to pick one of the remaining 2 to look at, and Eric will pick the other one.
Because it's the one left.
Yes.
Hey, well, apparently that worked out in your favor, likely from last time, Eric. So
Okay.
That's because you made a bad choice. Though, you know what, though? I'm probably going to take some flack. I know a lot of people like Cavern Tavern, so maybe you'll tell me I was wrong.
Okay.
right,
and then
today-
wait, does that mean I have to submit a Tom Was Wrong segment for Board Game Breakfast?
Today we have some esoteric stuff here, so just be prepared. All right, first, we'll start with Dig, which uses the never-seen-before 8-bit artwork. Will you be brave enough to delve into the hill and face its many dangers, gather equipment, hire recruits, and companions with unique abilities to help you on your adventure? Collect 10 gems before the other diggers do and become king of the hill. Ooh, that's Dig. And it's 8-bit. You know why it's 8-bit? Who cares? All right. Next one, we have some cute-looking dragons in Dragon Rush.
Aw.
Mama Dragon has just had cute baby dragons. It actually tells you they're cute. And to feed them, she will shower them with an avalanche of gems and coins. Okay, that sounds weird. She's been hoarding for centuries. They will have to rush and capture the treasure in order to absorb its mystic energy and grow stronger. They don't tell you what happens when the dragons grow up. Do they fight their mother? Who knows?
They
You can see a
eat.
small picture of the game there. That's Dragon Rush. Next one, Dark.net. This is from WizKids. With advanced technology in the late 21st century, 4 companies, the Big 4, grew to control every aspect of modern society, blah, 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 blah. You are intercepting information from the Big 4. This sounds kind of like a Netrunner ripoff. You have to build a network. It looks like kind of an abstract strategy style game. I'm not sure. That's Dark.net. Next, this one here is from Spielworks. Maybe you guys will be interested. I like the cover of this one. War of the Buttons. Isn't that neat? It's based on a book. A book that was published in 1912 by Louis Hergard. There's brawls in the forest. There's a gang of kids that are trying to build a hut. These kids are collecting buttons, trusting their big brothers, and ratting on other people. There's the back of the box. Could be complicated, though, and that back isn't doing the game any favors. But the name is interesting, right?
Yeah.
Well, but if the name was taken from a book, then the interesting name doesn't actually say anything about the game itself.
That's true. Carthago, Merchants and Guilds. This is from Games Up, or Iron Games. Carthage was a humble trading post by the Phoenicians, and they decided that they would trade in the Mediterranean because that's what games do. You're trying to increase your wealth and influence while improving your status with the Merchants Guild. Try to become Carthage's greatest merchant. It's an extraordinary card-driven tactic game, which demands making the right decisions at the right times. I'm trying to make it sound interesting.
I'm sorry, I fell asleep there for a minute.
Okay, I'm waiting. Oh, there we go. The picture will come back on screen so people can see it. All right, here we go. 2 more. Groves. The tree. Italon was the crown jewel of fairy queen Navara's kingdom once upon a time. But after a great betrayal, this once great land is dissolved into formless void. You are the guardians of the 4 winds. You will restore it to its former glory. Its worker placement and bag building. Can you build your grove and manage your pool of spirits? So that's the back. That looks slightly more interesting than the front, I think.
Is that? I feel like I've seen that one somewhere before. Was it on Kickstarter?
I don't know.
Yeah. It looks the name sounds familiar, but I don't know anything about it.
It probably was on Kickstarter. And last one, Panic Fire.
Oh no!
What is going on here? Okay,
all of a sudden, Carthago sounds better.
That pits opponents across from each other with nothing but a toy gun and a deck of cards between them. That's right, this game comes with a toy gun. Here's some quotes. Panic Fire is a raucous, wonderfully surprising game that you'll be talking about the next day, says Brian Tinsman, lead designer on 7 Magic the Gathering releases. Panic Fire is a fast, frantic, silly good time, says Larry Corriera, New York Times bestselling author of the Monster Hunter series. There's also some quotes on here from board game reviewers. Oh, no, there's not. Sorry. So that's Panic Fire.
There's an alien next to a nun next to, is that?
Yeah, come on now. What is going on in this? I really, despite what's going to happen, you know that sometimes I review some of the games. Oh, by the way, the best game was Enchanters, the ones that you guys passed by previously. Enchanters was very good. Anyway, I think I might review this just based on the cover. Who are these people shooting at? Like this guy here. Who's he shooting at?
A cloud.
Okay, so folks, you're going to eliminate one of these. Panic Fire. Board Game Fangirl says Panic Fire is not that great. All right. Groves. Carthago. War of the Buttons. Dark.net. Dragon Rush. Or Dig. Eliminate one of these, and then Crystal will eliminate another one. You can vote. Pick the one you want us to get rid of. So some people have actually played some of these games. Can you get rid of all those games to someone? No. That's the beauty of this. We're going to play these. Like it or not. This is my job anyway. So, I mean, I was probably going to play some of these anyway. Oh, my. Oh, you have the comments on for once, Eric.
I do. I decided to start paying attention.
Well, unfortunately, it looks like easily the winner is Dig. Dig it, or the winner, the loser. Dig is out. All right, Crystal. Which other one is out?
As much as I want to eliminate Panic Fire, I actually have I kind of want to hear more about it. So I'm sorry. There others sound more interesting. I'm going with Carthago.
All right.
Oh, is that good?
Well, I have to review the games too, you know.
He didn't want to do that one, yeah.
All right, we're down to 5. Now we're just going to open their boxes and look at some components inside them. This is the first time I've opened any of these boxes. Well, I thought this was a big rule book here for Dragon Rush, but it's actually multiple languages. Has a folding board that I can't. What is wrong with me? Well, don't answer that. It takes too long. All right. Well, that's kind of a.
Well, that's exciting right there.
Well, there's like some skeletons. Look at that. With a cowboy hat.
He's all curled up.
He's like in a fetal
He's
position.
sleeping. The
These are the
sleeping
treasures
skeleton.
that the mama dragon is putting into the cave. Sheets of treasures. This not. Whoa, my goodness! There's quite a few of these sheets of treasures. That's probably the whole game is these treasures. And then there's a bag. And then there is some baby dragon cards. That's the whole game. It's just those treasures, a bag. I feel like some deja vu. The last time we talked about a game that just had some treasures in the bag. I don't know what that means. That's Dragon Rush. Lots of treasures and a board. Dark.net. This one, I gotta say, guys, I don't like this cover.
I
I don't
kind of
know
like
why.
it. I really kind of do. I don't like the name of the game because I think like the dark net is actually a thing and it's like not a good thing. But
I don't think it means that. I know what you're saying,
No?
like the dark. No, it's the. Isn't it the deep web? And then in the deep web, there's like a dark web.
oh,
I think
maybe.
it's a dark web, not dark.net.
Okay.
I don't think, but
I don't know. I like the cover.
this says, well, these are not bad. I mean, it is whiz kids. I just don't like covers like that because in the future, it's like, do people wear uncomfortable clothing on purpose? It's the same way I feel about Warhammer 40,000.
I
Why
mean,
in
at
the
least
world
she's
would
not
you-
scantily clad.
Well, there's that. Well, actually, I don't know.
She
I know
seems
you said
well
she.
covered.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it's a woman. I'm not sure.
Ooh, I like gender ambiguity as well,
There
so
you
that's
go.
nice.
No, that's fine. I was just saying, you said she, and I was like, oh, I didn't.
There are pigtails, I think, on that.
Well, it's the future. Who
Same.
knows? People wear
Yeah,
pigtails.
maybe everybody has pigtails in the future,
That's
Eric.
right, it's cool.
Obviously.
I'm growing them this year. I'm gonna start the trend. I'm not a big fan of these artists. I don't know. I just don't like this art, guys. I'm sorry. Like this guy here looks. Oh, this guy here looks like grotesque almost. It's like skin is like it looks like his face is about to burst like a balloon.
There's someone just named Mother, too.
No, that's
It's
okay.
getting
I-
creepier.
and then there is cubes,
Cubes.
custom dice. Well, not much in custom dice. Big cubes.
Big cubes.
They stole from Lords of Waterdeep. And more small cubes. And a few cards. But that's it. So this is definitely, I'm guessing, an abstract strategy game. But, or something on that line, because it looks like that. But who knows? All right, War of the Buttons. What do you think's in here?
Buttons.
Buttons.
Lot. If there's no buttons in here, I think that you guys who are watching should reject it out of hand. Oh, okay, we're fine. They're wooden buttons, like Game Crafter style wooden buttons. But that. Why? You literally can buy millions of buttons for really inexpensive prices. Lots of rule books. Ooh, this makes me happy. This is probably the first player marker.
Hey, you know what? Those brown pieces, those look like the logs from Pecunia non Olette, the poop logs, Tom.
Are you ever gonna let that game go, Crystal? Some
Never.
cards, and then a whole pile of tile sheets here that are wrapped in plastic. So I'm gonna open them up. Oh, and some player boards. Oh, this is the board. This one does not look so bad. This looks. I mean, I think this board is kind of pretty, actually.
Okay.
No, maybe it's just me. Yeah, maybe it is generic. Whatever. All right, then we got tiles here of stars and stuff. This game looks like the way that the art and stuff is done. It reminds me of the guys who made those coal games. It might be the same company because Blackfire is just distributing those too. You know what I'm talking about? The Coal Works games. Oh, this is Andreas Stetting who designed this. He's a well-known designer. All right, it's War of the Buttons. Groves. Groves is trees, right?
Could be.
Well, let's find out. There's your rule book. And then that's like some creepy mirrors. And it's like a lot of like fantasy stuff. Here we just got a sheet of fairy counters. and more fairy counters of different flavors. Not flavors, colors. I don't eat fairies. More fairies.
I would like the red flavored fairy.
This
They
is
taste like strawberry.
well. These are some pretty neat boards. You know, like I don't know how they fit together and all.
Oh,
but these
wow.
This is some really gorgeous artwork here, actually. I mean, I gotta say that looks really good. And then, ooh, some purple cubes, a bunch of wooden stuff, but they're not cubes, so that's always good. Several bags for players. It looks like there's one per player. And then a bunch of hexagons here. And these look like they fit underneath the trees. All right, and there's some cards in here too. All right, so that's Groves. And finally, I know you've been wanting to see what's inside this one.
Oh gosh, here we go.
Okay, so most of the box is apparently just the gun. But wait. Let me put my silencer on.
Oh goodness.
And a scope.
Oh goodness.
I do like this whole silencer type thing. Just sitting there. This is when I'm starting to screw this on. This is when the good guy needs to run away. We know that, right? Why does this need a silencer? It's a toy. Hang on. I'm testing something. It sounds the same. Waste of a piece. All right, but there's also some... Wait a minute. This has me more excited now.
Oh, there's batteries.
Batteries.
This gun might make noise, guys.
Oh, we put those batteries in.
Only if it makes it to the next level.
Oh.
That's true. That's true.
We have to send it on.
Also, I need a screwdriver, and I need to go find one of those. All right, so there's cards in this game, too. You all knew there was a nun in the game. And there's also, okay, there's a nun, a soldier, a Viking, who looks like she escaped from the opera.
Yeah, she's an opera Viking.
The famous opera Vikings of yore.
You can also get a shield. That's probably to protect you from the gun. A bullet. That's one of the decks. There's 2 decks of cards in here. I can't believe this gun comes with a silencer. That's so dumb. I want to play it. There's an alien. There's the cowboy. There's the gangster who for some reason stole Dick Tracy's clothes after they were made XXX size.
Yeah, that's like the worst fitting suit ever.
There's a gorilla. And there's the great grandma.
You know it's a party when the gorilla and grandma both have a gun.
What parties are you going to, ma'am? All right, we're going to eliminate 2 more games. So we have Groves. We have Panic Fire. That's one you just looked at. We have War of the Buttons, which I'm holding up the wrong box for. Dark.net. I actually think we're like at a good time here, right? Though I don't think any game here you guys would hate, right?
Yeah, no, none of them seem awful, at least at face value. But once we read the rule books,
none of the games today seemed awful. War of the Buttons and Dragon Rush. So once again, you folks are going to vote for one to get rid of. Dragon Rush, War of the Buttons. You can just say buttons if you want. Dark.net. Groves or Panic Fire, and then Eric will eliminate one. Go ahead, you can vote for one. Go for it.
I'm pretty sure I know which one I'm not going to get to play.
Really?
Yeah, I've got a thought.
Of which one I'll pick or which one the audience will. Oh.
Which one you'll never let me touch? That's the one that I'm.
Well, maybe you should win a game show once in a while, Eric, and you wouldn't have to spell
I'm
them.
trying.
I don't actually know if I know
Okay.
which one.
Well, then I should be quiet then.
You definitely should. Because there's a couple of them that look intriguing to me. Although, now that I think about it, trying to get into your head, I think I know what you
All
think.
right, Eric, this is actually a little surprising, but Dark.net has been eliminated.
Okay.
So you can get rid of, Eric, War of the Buttons, Dragon Rush,
Yep.
Panic Fire, or Groves.
So this is where I have to play a little bit of mind games with you.
Are you
Because,
talking about me?
yes, because I think that if I eliminate Panic Fire, you're going to review it anyway. And so this leaves games I'm more interested in learning more about. So I'm gonna send Panic Fire away.
I
Because
mean,
you know you're going to take that thing out and you're going to review it.
Yeah, but now we'll never know if the batteries work. That's all I'm saying. Okay, that's fine. It's fine. I'm okay. So we got 3 games left. War of the Buttons, Groves, and Dragon Rush. I have to say, I didn't think Dragon Rush and Groves would have made it to the final 3, but they did. So let's see. We'll start with Groves since I have it here in my hands. At this point, folks, you're going to eliminate one more. So I'm gonna be looking through these here. You have the Realm of Groves. Let's find the box here. This is your realm. You'll have this realm here in front of you with trees. You can see there's all sorts of different symbols on the outside of it. And you're going to be placing spirits. Remember we saw all those sheets of spirits? There was like a ton of spirits in this game. And so you have spirits of different types that you're going to be placing here and collecting rewards from groves. The rules are actually, there is 15 pages. Oh, no, never mind. There's actually the last several pages are about the fall of Eidolon. And then there's a 2-player variant. So there's a bag. You get special powers. You can be drawing race from a bag. Oh, that's the solo play rules. Never mind. There's only 8. There's only 8 things. But you're going to be drawing from the bag. Now, this they said it was a bag building game, right? So
yeah.
you're going to be drawing spirits from a bag and placing them on these different hexes that you're going to be putting into your grove. And when the game will end and you are trying to get dominion points. And you'll get points for stuff that's in your realm, bonus cards, and for portals that you build. All right, that sounds interesting. We have to give this one points, certainly, for artwork. And this is the one that also comes with, yeah, these really cool components, too. All right. I'm not a biased, I'm an unbiased person here, folks. I can't help myself. All right. Dragon Rush. This one's kind of curious to me because I'm trying to figure out how it's going to work with just these pieces. You know, we saw there was just a bunch of gems. Let's jump past the Spanish thing here. You're going to take 3 tokens from the bag and put them on your card in any order. And you're making a triad, a shape that you're then going to put on the board. And you're dropping it on the board. So you make a shape of the 3 gems that you pull from this bag, and then you drop them on the board. And then you're going to be trying to explode a row. It looks like you're playing
Tetris.
Huh?
It's like you're playing Tetris.
Not Tetris. It's
like
more
a
like
match
you're
3,
playing
like Candy
Mario
Crush.
Party. Dr. Mario.
Dr.
Looks a
Mario.
little more like Dr. Mario. And at the end of the, and anytime you get 3 of the same type of things in a row, you're going to blow up a whole row of tokens. How do you blow up a row of tokens?
By matching 3 in a row.
If 3 or more gems or coins of the same kind form a row, column or diagonal, they'll explode. And then you get some points for when that happens. So that's what you're doing. You're making a shape and dropping it in. It really does seem a little bit like, well, Bejeweled and all that stuff too. So that's Dragon Rush. The gems are very beautiful, and you might like that kind of strategy. And finally, War of the Buttons. Come here. Which has a lot of custom dice, and according to Crystal, some poop in the game. That's what you said.
I mean, it does. It looks exactly like the components from Pecunia Non-OLED. I put the name in chat so people could Google it. I'm not crazy.
Oh no, that was the game where I learned how many euphemisms exist for going to number 2.
Yeah, you, Z, and Sam were having a heyday that day.
It was mostly them that we know. There's no proof otherwise. Okay,
I really
so
wish I'd recorded video.
I'm really glad you didn't. Okay, so let's see. You're going to be getting some buttons. You get some dice of your color. Okay, so it looks like it might be a bit of a dice placement game. You're going to take some actions on your turn, and you're trying to build a hut with the poop sticks. No, look, it shows you right here. So there's different locations here. You're going to be placing dice on the board. So yeah, it is a dice placement game, and when you place dice in different areas, you are going to get different things. That marker I showed you that I said was starting player is the starting player, but you can also get a bunch of cards that are going to let you modify and manipulate things that you do over this game. This game actually does not seem as complex as I thought. It's basically a dice placement game. The game will end when you finish your hut or get 6 stars, and then you win. So it's not a points game. It's kind of a race game. The first person to accomplish a goal. The rules themselves seem pretty easy and simple. And, well, that's that. So, folks, you have to eliminate one of these. You can be sadistic. You can be nice. I don't care. Again, I would play all 3 of these. Dragon Rush, War of the Buttons, or Groves. Eliminate one.
I know which one.
Now we got people in the comments telling us euphemisms for using the bathroom. Thanks,
Yeah.
Crystal. You opened this door. I just want you to know that.
I did. It was all my fault.
Well, this one doesn't look like it's going to be much of a surprise here.
Yeah.
Yeah, based on the game description, I think.
Dragon Rush is out. It's not even close. All right, Crystal. You have a choice of War of the Buttons or Groves.
Well, they both sounded interesting, and I really honestly, I think one of these two is the one that Eric was talking about earlier. I got a dice allocation game last time, though, so I am going to choose Groves because it's different.
Please tell me that's what you wanted, Eric.
Yeah, Gross was the one I wanted.
This is such a sadistic show, the Dice Tower.
Okay, yep.
But buttons, I'm also interested in buttons. That one, I was actually happy with any of the last 3. So I'm good. I'm good. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, I have to say for myself, looking at all these, the one I think I'm most interested in, I mean, gun aside, is probably Groves. It has a different feel than the rest. But the War Buttons also, when that came in, I just thought I like the theming of it. It wasn't yet, hey, let's get some wood and build some kids building a clubhouse. That's kind of a cool theme.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. I will admit, I saw a couple comments in chat from people. They did say that Groves was on Kickstarter, and a couple people said it is a good game. So I will admit that influenced my decision a little bit.
All right. Well, there you go. Now I got to get these played somehow. This is a very time crunchy month. Okay. So at the end of next week, I'm going to CMONCon, and several of the Dice Tower people are going there. The week after that, I'm going to at St. Louis, Geekway to the West. And then the week after that
is Origins.
UK Games Expo first.
The week after that is a homeschool convention in Orlando, Florida.
Oh, gosh.
So I'm going to be setting up a booth there because I figure people will be walking through this convention and they'll be like, so boring. And then they'll see games and I'll be sitting there. Come play games. That actually sounds a little bit more creepy.
Creepiest cartoon characters, Tom's Vassal.
And then the week after that is UK Games Expo. Then I come back from UK Games Expo and I go, and we go to Origins. Hey, but we got a hanging sign now.
Ooh, fancy.
Yeah, I know. We got lots of stuff going on. Okay, we'll take. Please stop telling me different ways to say this, guys. Let's take some questions, please.
Don't make Tom kick me off the show.
All right, so we'll take a few questions before we end this. But I'm feeling energized.
This was a good show.
Yes.
There's some more live stuff coming tomorrow, folks. We have two things. Z's going to continue his Arkham Horror solo thing. And at 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, I'm going to announce the Dice Tower award nominations. So I think we have a really good slate of games, as always, to show off. And then Friday, we're going to be playing Omen and also Western Legends live.
The live stream you all did last Friday was really good.
Yes. Okay, guys, I have to talk about this. I don't know if you've been paying attention, but there's an announcement made today from Stonemaier Games.
Yeah.
Tell me more.
Oh, you already know about this, huh?
Uh-huh. But maybe not everybody in chat does, so you should enlighten them.
In my defense here, I feel like I was right at the time. It was the right thing to say. So last year at Dice Tower Con, Eric, me, and Sam and Z were sitting taking questions from the audience. So I think we did a top 10, and we just took questions. And a guy in the back stood up and it was a weird question overall. He basically said, have you heard of this My Little Pony site that some guy made? And don't you think people should be promoting this more? And we were like, what kind of question is this? Who cares? It was a really odd question. And he said, well, maybe they'll get the license. Maybe they will make My Little Side type thing. And I said, I'll eat my shoe if that happens, because I thought there was no way they would get the license to My Little Pony and make Side. That doesn't make any sense. Well, lo and behold, they almost did it. They announced today My Little Side. It's not with My Little Ponies. It's just with cutesy animals, which I believe are the pets of the people from Side. And it's a kid-friendly version of the game, which supposedly is very well done. And Jamie Stonemaier said he is sending me some shoe candy. The project name is Eat a Shoe. And I went back and looked at the Stonemaier updates, because he sends one out every month. So I went and looked, and as of September of last year, 2 months after Dice Tower Con, it was already called Eat a Shoe Project.
That's amazing.
That's hilarious.
I applaud them. That's very, very clever and good. And I'm glad they're not making me actually eat a shoe, because I don't know that I could do that.
So my story with this is that I was on the DLC podcast, and this subject came up because one of the hosts had been playing a My Little Pony game, and I said, well, have you heard of this My Little Scythe thing, the fan project? And little did I know that already in my inbox was Jamie Stegmeier's email saying, all right, here's the script for the video we want you to do. And I hadn't looked at the script yet. So I was promoting the fan version of My Little Side without actually realizing that they had hired me to do the video for the official version of My Little Side.
Nice.
How long have you been sitting on this?
Just a couple weeks.
Oh, man. Well, that was funny. I noticed it today because he was running a live feed on Facebook. And I was like, I'll watch it for a little bit. And I went in and I heard something about, we're going to send Tom some shoe candy because he's going to eat a shoe. And I was like, what? What shoe? I probably said that because it sounds like something I would say. What would I said it about? And then I was like, wait, they couldn't be doing that stupid side idea. But it does look good.
Yeah.
And Stonemaier Games makes almost no mistakes ever.
Yeah, I think my kids will be interested. I'm sure to try and track it down a copy.
Well, there you go. I hear if you put Chick-fil-A sauce on your shoe, it'll make it go down easier. Has anyone ever actually eaten a shoe?
I feel like there's a 100% certainty that someone on YouTube has taken a shoe and blended it into a smoothie and very slowly eaten a shoe. It has to have happened. It has to.
The phrase is usually, I'll eat my hat. I don't know why I didn't say that. I think I'm always worried that I'll have a hat I like, and then... All right. Let's see what other questions we have. This is almost all the questions have been about this. Are there any good Korean restaurants in Orlando? Yes. And by the way, folks, Dice Tower Con coming. We're going to all be there, right? All of us?
Yes. All of us.
It's going to be exciting. It's going to be fun. I'm super excited about it because it's the one place where it feels like all the Dice Tower people are at. And so I get to see everybody. And we get to take a group picture again.
where
Yes.
at least one person has forgotten to show up for every single one.
Every year I'm like, we're meeting here. And then last year I was like, all right, we'll do it again tomorrow. Suzanne, come this time. And then she came, and other people didn't show up. And I was like, all right, I give up. Let's see. Did you guys see that they're doing a second edition of X-Wing? That's big news.
I did. I saw some people are not happy about that.
Well, it's kind of a mixed bag, right? Because they probably should do a second edition of the game. But anytime you do a second edition of a miniature game, everyone who had the original first edition is not pleased.
Right. Yeah. How much do the minis work with the second edition?
Well, you can buy upgrade kits, but the upgrade kits are not cheap, and you probably need to buy several of them. So, how many people are checking for a video of people eating their shoes? I'm not doing that. When will Eric ever do a live play of him playing Merchants of Venus?
That's a great question. Sure, no problem. Who wants to play?
You
know,
gotta do
Eric,
it.
I've never played Merchants of Venus.
You should. It's a lovely game.
I'm
Maybe
not playing
you
it.
haven't heard about it before.
I mean, I based on the pinned tweet on your Twitter profile, I'd say, you know, I've at least heard of it ancillarily.
What's the pen tweet? Is it basically saying stop sending me pictures of the?
Yeah, it's him with the sign saying this is the definitive answer on the subject, and people still tweeted at him anyway. Like, oh my gosh.
Yes, I know there's a shop in Tomorrowland called Merchant of Venus.
I did like the one that got posted, though, where it was somebody with Cosmic Encounter at Tokyo Disney sent to Tom. That was good.
Yeah, I think, wasn't that Ambi?
I believe so.
Yeah. I don't know. I'd love to do a live play of Merchant of Venus. I think that would be fun.
You can.
We should, when I come down to Florida, when we finally, do another marathon, we should do that. That would be great.
I don't think that game would be really interesting to watch live. Do you?
I don't know. If you played quickly, it would. But there's a lot of sort of thinking and planning. Yeah,
that's one thing. I mean, we tell people this all the time. They're like, play this game live. And I'm thinking, that game is really boring to play live. It may be a great, like I love Feasts for Odin, for example. Yeah. I think it's a great game. No way am I playing that game live.
It would not, unless you narrated everything, it would be tricky to make it interactive and fun to watch, right? I mean, there's not a lot of trash talking. There's not a lot of plot that goes on. It's a lot of puzzly numbers and adding up how much money you've got and where to fly next. You'd have to narrate it if you were to make it interesting.
Yeah, that's the way it is. When I always tell people when we're playing live stuff, I say you need to talk the whole time.
Yeah.
You need to talk even when you're thinking, just talk out loud. That's kind of maybe annoying when you're playing a game with, like a Euro game, if someone narrated, I wouldn't be super happy with it. But when you're live, you have to, because you have to keep talking so that people, it's not just dead air and people just sitting there staring at the game.
Yeah.
Also, when we're doing these marathons, we're trying not to fall asleep. All right. Well, that's that. We're going to shut down, folks, because we really took too long on the games, because some people didn't know superheroes and some people didn't know creepy cartoon characters.
We're trying to do this as best we can, Tom.
I'm just not a very good game show host. All right. Well, that being said, folks, pay attention. We're showing up somewhere near you soon. 2 weeks. I just realized in 2 weeks, I will not be here.
Uh-oh. What do we do, Tom?
Am I being phased out?
Yay, Eric and Crystal are running the show again.
I'm going to play these games and send them to you guys. All right, well, these games are reviewed, the ones that I showed you earlier. I'll send them off, so hopefully by next time, they will have had a chance to at least look at them and play them and tell you what their thoughts are on them. So, folks, thanks so much for watching. Spread the word. Tell people to come watch Dice Tower tonight. Until next time, I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Crystal Pisano.
And I'm Eric Summerer.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you for watching. Promotional consideration has been provided by game publishers in the form of review copies of games. Crystal and I, and maybe Tom, will see you in a few weeks for another installment. Our show is supported by viewers like you. thank you. Dice Tower Tonight is produced by Tom Crystal and me, with assistance from Derek Porter and Rob Searing. Inspirational kitten sounds provided by Muse. Timothy Pinkham composed our theme, and hosting is provided by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games at great prices at coolstuffinc.com. Give us your feedback on the Dice Tower Guild at Board Game Geek on Facebook or Twitter, or by emailing us at dicetower@gmail.com. And don't forget to visit the other shows in the Dice Tower Network. Find something new at dicetowernetwork.com. Until next time, from all of us at the Dice Tower, have fun gaming.
Man, that actually hurt to roll my eyes that hard.
It was so good.
I don't think I can go that far in my head.